everybody, it is Barbara Schwartz and I am here for our Monday night Q&A. I hope you're all having a great kickoff to December. Thanksgiving is behind us, but we know the holidays are ahead of us. And from what I hear, a lot of the holiday parties have started, and along with that come the challenges. So we're here to help, we're here to guide you, but most importantly, it's time to recognize it's not an either or. As my coach Renee used to say, it's and more. So this is about literally having your cake and eating it too. This is about keeping on your path to health while you enjoy the holiday season. You know, the one thing I can't stand is hearing in January all the regrets for having no plan in December. So we're here to help, we're here to support. A lot of you have already jumped onto our holiday plan. And here's the thing, it's customizable week to week, day to day. So look, life happens. It's all about having a plan. And many people just don't have a plan, and that results in regrets. And it also comes into New Year's resolutions that often wind up not seen through. So we want to get ahead of that. Let's change our mindset and let's change the way that we're approaching things, because we can, right? This is the year to be different. Why not? Why not now? The time is now. This is a time for you. So some of the things I want to talk about are, again, questions that have been coming up. I have to say I really applaud so many people who are recognizing that it's not worth waiting till January. You know, your health, it's important today. It's important every day. And again, we don't have to choose between the health path and the holiday season path. We can have both. And that's what we're doing. So the first thing I want to clarify, because it's really hard for people, is to recognize what's the difference between taking a planned day off and cheating. And the reason I want to separate these is when we perceive ourselves as cheating, the guilt sets in. So then if we've gone to a holiday party and we feel like we're cheating, then the guilt. And so what's the fun of going to the holiday parties if we're going to feel guilty about them, right? We want to enjoy this holiday season, and it should be guilt-free. So that's the difference. One of the reasons we created the holiday plan, which allows you to take 2 days a week off and still lose body fat, is because we want to get out of this mindset of cheating. Now, when you plan a day off or you plan a meal off, you've made a plan. And I'll go back to my signs. Planning equals success. So first of all, when you have a plan, you're actually following your plan and you're setting yourself up for success, because you're going to now fulfill the plan that you laid out. Cheating is giving in to an urge in a moment. So I'll give you an example. If any of you are following me, and many of you are, and I thank you, on my AccuWeight video diary, I am now in phase 2 stabilization. Now, sometimes best laid plans. I am in the phase of it's 2 milk days, 5 days fruits, vegetables, chicken, and fish. And yesterday I had a situation where our plans changed. I didn't have access to the food, so I had a salad and I wound up having pizza, which isn't on the plan. I didn't actually what I didn't touch on in yesterday's video is that there was cake, there were snacks, there was a lot of other stuff. And I can promise you, in the moment watching everybody else having birthday cake, watching everybody else having the snacks, I wanted those too. But what I can tell you is I also made a decision that I want more to stabilize my body at this new weight and have long-term success. Look, I've been maintaining for 15 years, and I recently went back on AccuWeight because of some old habits rearing their head and having some out of control stress eating and emotional eating. And I reined it back in and I went on the plan, and I've had some starts and stops, but it actually, I think, allowed all of you to see what the journey can be like. We're human and life happens. But what are you going to do? You're going to make the best decision in the moment. I don't feel guilty that I had pizza yesterday. It wasn't part of the plan, but I did. They had salad. I had a lot of salad first. I had a slice of pizza. Then I had more salad. Then I had a little more pizza. I drank a lot of water. I drank some seltzer to fill up my belly. And I kept going back to the seltzer. They had different flavored seltzers. And, you know, I normally don't drink artificial sweetener, but they had some 0-calorie, whatever brand of lemon lime soda. So it was Sprite kind of thing, a different brand. And I said, you know what? Right now, I'd rather have a little bit of that than give in to the cake, to the snacks, to the other things. Because right now I have a goal, and my goal is to successfully finish phase 2. Let's stabilize my body at the new weight, and let's lay a foundation for long-term maintenance. So right now that's my priority. But we were all together, and again, it was unexpectedly, we got invited to a celebration, and because it was unexpected and we were already out at a kid's birthday party, what was there was what was there. But I'll tell you, it's not that I didn't want the cake. When we were at the party and the grown-ups were all invited to have some cake, I wanted it, but I didn't indulge because I have a goal. And we all have choices. How are we going to handle it? I'm doing a milk day today, and I don't have beads on. I'm in phase 2, so it's fine. I'm fine. I'm keeping myself busy with fluids. I've had a couple sucking candies, and I've had several cups of coffee or decaf coffee with milk. So I've had all my milk for the day, and I'm fine. But I was cooking dinner for my daughter, and I made her meatballs and spaghetti tonight for dinner. And I can tell you that with making it for her now, just to test the temperature, I touch it to my lips. I don't eat it, but I touch it to my lips. If you think I wasn't tempted, it smelled wonderful. I wanted it, but I wanted more to stay on my path to health. And the meatballs and spaghetti aren't taboo forever, but they're not on today's milk day. And I'm not going to tell you it wasn't hard. It was hard. But I'm an adult and I have a choice. And I chose to take a sip of water and to walk away. And I just walked away for a minute and I let it sit, and then I served it, I served her dinner at the table, and I sat down with I purposely left a last decaf cup of coffee so that I could have something of mine while she was eating, and it would reduce my temptation. But she needs my help swirling the spaghetti on the fork. And so here I'm entrenched in it. But at the end of the day, aroma aside, aroma, knowing how good it tastes, she was enjoying it. I still don't want to give in because I have other plans for me. And again, it doesn't mean it's not challenging. It absolutely is. But it's also making a decision, what do you want for you? So one of the things, hi Rob, welcome. I hit McDonald's 3 times every day. Well, I'll even tell you, even in McDonald's, they have salads and they have healthy choices. And, again, we can talk about it if you'd like offline as to what's driving you over to McDonald's 3 times a day. There are also healthier choices, and it might be your favorite food. I'm a big believer that when you're on maintenance, your favorite foods shouldn't be taboo. So if McDonald's is your favorite, it should be built into your diet. But 3 times a day for anybody is excessive. Overall, it's not going to bring health. And forget, even you might be maintaining your weight with having McDonald's in your world 3 times a day. But is it bringing you health? Now, again, I don't know what you're buying at McDonald's. Maybe one of those trips is a cup of coffee. I haven't tried it, but I've heard from several clients that the McDonald's coffee is actually terrific, and it's less expensive than Starbucks. Terrific. If you can drive in and you can go in and get yourself a cup of coffee and not give in to the French fries, then go for it for sure. I've gone to McDonald's with friends and gotten a salad. So there are healthy choices there. But it's all about building a framework for maintenance that lets you enjoy what you have, but understand, number one, what are healthy limits and guidelines for yourself? Where should your boundaries be? How frequently should this be in your world? But it definitely, if it's your favorite, it should not be taboo. It should be built in, because anything that is our favorite, as long as we're not allergic to it, again, I believe everything in moderation. If it makes us happy, it should be in our world. The minute we make something taboo for the long haul, for maintenance, I can promise you somewhere down the line there will be binging, and there's no reason for that. Because again, the cookie jar sitting on the counter, if a kid knows they have access, like my child knows that if she's eaten dinner, she's allowed to have a treat once her belly settles down. Like, don't leave the kitchen table and leave dinner and go get a treat. But if you still have room after dinner, let your belly rest a few minutes. Then you can go over to the cookie jar and you can have a treat. So it very safely sits on our counter. I don't have to hide it. It's in full access all the time. But there are healthy boundaries around it, and she understands what those boundaries are. And because I don't make it taboo, it's there, it's within her reach. When it's time for her to get a treat, she can take the step stool, she can go and get it herself. And like today, she picked something out and she said, "This is really small, Mom. Do you think I could have a second thing?" And I said, "Well, depends what the second thing is." And she asked for something that I thought was unreasonable. And I said, "Yeah, do you have another choice?" And she picked something else reasonable. I said, "Yes, in that case, you can have both," because the other one was small and it didn't really add up to a real treat. Terrific. But she understands their boundaries. But again, she doesn't go out of control because it's not taboo. There's no reason to binge when something is not off limits. So it is important to be building towards something that is the way you want to live your lifestyle and allows you to maintain a healthy weight. So you can have both. And that's where, just like with the holiday stuff we're talking about, it is and more. It is not either or. You can have your favorite foods and you can maintain your weight. Now, look, if your favorite thing is sitting down, hi Marlene, welcome. If your favorite thing is sitting down to a pint of Haagen-Dazs every night, chances are you're gaining weight. But should Haagen-Dazs be taboo from your world when you're on maintenance? Of course not. But the difference is a whole pint is not what a serving is. If you look on the side of the container, it's going to define what a serving is. A serving is there to help guide you as to what a healthy amount is. Probably not ideal to have it every night. Now, some people's metabolism can handle that. Again, going to a single serving, not a whole pint. But part of what we do during phase 2 is we identify your favorite foods, and together we figure out what is the balance that your body is going to allow. What's the serving size? What's the frequency? How often can you eat this before the scale starts moving up? So at the end of the day, we are not dictating to you to tell you what your maintenance diet should look like. During phase 2, it's custom tailored to you. We introduce your favorite foods. We take our time and we figure out what's your body's tolerance. So if your favorite food, Rob, if it's burgers and fries, now you might tell me, I want it 3 times a day and I want it 7 days a week. Okay, I hear you. That's what you want. But will your body allow you to maintain that? Probably not. So what if we started during phase 2? So if you're in weight loss mode and you've lost the weight you want, or you're ready to take a break, and we go to phase 2, and we say, okay, first week we had chicken and fish, but okay, let's say week 2. Let's add in a burger and fries this week. Just one. But let's see how it goes. And we get to the end of the week and we've introduced burgers and fries. You felt great, you were happy, you missed having it, and you really enjoyed it. And you're stable. Terrific. Next week comes. Let's add it twice because you told me you wanted 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Okay, but let's try 2 different days, 1 time a day. And the week passes and we find out, great, we're good. Weight is still stable. So now we go, okay, 3. Still seems okay. Now, before we add another day, let's double up. You want it 3 times a day? Let's add it twice a day on one of the 3 days that we're doing it. And that week, your scale goes up. Okay, well, our body's telling us something, but we don't have a pattern yet. It was 1 time. So let's make sure to take that weight off. So we're going to have a cleaner week the next week and take that weight that we just gained. Let's take it back off just by, again, not going back on program or phase 1, but within phase 2, paring it back a little, and let's have a good base. Okay, following week, we're back to where we started weight-wise. So let's try that again. 3 days burgers and fries, but 1 day we have it twice. Ooh, scale went up again. Oh, we're starting to see a pattern. Now, we've already seen that 3 days a week, 1 meal a day, you can have burger and fries and your body is stable. Now, is it worth compromising? You're still having your favorite food, but your body just told you what your tolerance level is. Can you live with it? So I understand the desire, 7 days a week, but your body told you it's willing to have it 3 and allow you to have a stable body environment that overall is healthy. And you're like, most people I know will accept the compromise because I didn't tell you, Barbara Schwartz or anybody in the AccuWeight team, we didn't tell you how much you can have. Your body told you. And because we're not dictating it, and we're actually learning through experience, we can see what's happening together. Most people are willing to accept the limits that their body is setting on them because, again, these limits are created not by deprivation, but by testing what's my body's tolerance compared to what can I have and what do I want. And it's really cool when you can have what you want and find that happy medium. And that's one of the beauties of phase 2 and really stretching it out, is taking the time, especially with the foods that are either your weaknesses or your indulgences, and find out what your body's tolerance is. How can I have this in a way that I can genuinely enjoy it guilt-free and I'm still not gaining weight? So like, I enjoy this phase 2 process. I love going through it with people. And I'll be honest, it's frustrating sometimes. Once we start introducing food again, people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have this. I want it all. And I get it, just like in phase 1. There are certain challenges to not having it all at once, but there's also a lot of satisfaction, and we're building in portion control. We're building in, awareness. We're building in better eating habits, and we're building in some self-control just by taking our time. And so I urge people not to rush through this process. It's really easy to get cocky into week 3. I got this, thanks. I know what you're doing already. Figured it out, got this. It's when we rush through it or we quit partway through the process, those are the people who wind up coming back because of a weight gain. So patience is hard, but remember that we're enjoying and we're learning to build a lifestyle based on what we want ourselves, right? I'm building myself a maintenance plan. And it's going to take a few weeks to get there. And here we are in the holiday season. So because of it, now I might have holiday parties and I might have a few more indulgences. My phase 2 is going to be drawn out even longer because I need to give my body a steady platform. But I'm not going to deprive myself from the fact that it is the holiday season. And if friends are having us over and I want to enjoy a glass of wine or, again, a planned day is different than, again, deciding like today, I made a decision that today was a milk day. Giving into the aromas or giving into the fact that, again, I was testing temperature on my daughter's meatballs and spaghetti. If I started eating it with her, that would be cheating on myself because it wasn't planned and it would be just giving into temptation. But making a decision and saying, hey, you know what? We're going to a party. And I know there's going to be food and drink, and that night I really just want to enjoy the party. I'm going to take a planned day off. I'm going to use an Acuvate holiday plan day. That is being a grown-up, making a decision to take a day off. And then tomorrow you go back on plan. And it's that simple. But the difference is between cheating is giving into an I want because of a temptation. Planning, or even like the circumstance I had yesterday, which was I had planned dinner at home and I had the food I needed at home, but we went from a birthday party to a different birthday celebration with that family, invited us back to the house, and I didn't have access to what I needed or wanted, but I made it work for me. My scale is fairly stable. It's okay. I'm not feeling guilty. I enjoyed myself, but it was still, I made a decision. I didn't give in because I smelled the pizza. Once I realized I didn't have food that I needed, I definitely had a lot of salad, but I had pizza. But I made the decision. I didn't wait. There was aroma. I didn't wait for this, that, or the other. I said, okay, today's going to be kind of a holiday plan day. And again, what I tell people, in this order and in this proportion: vegetables and water, protein, everything else. So in this case, the protein and the everything else came on the pizza. But I started my meal with the vegetables and water, just like I say to you. So it does take some planning. And again, planning can be in a moment, but you are strong enough to deal with the aroma, to deal with the desire, to deal with the temptation. Again, I'm honest. There were things that I wanted. I'm human. I wanted, but I didn't give in because I'm worth not giving in. And it doesn't mean I'll never have these things, but I didn't want them because I knew it was going to sabotage the journey that I'm on. And I'm worth more than that. Now, a couple of things related to this that I want to address, and then I kind of want to throw out an interesting question challenge for people, and I'm going to pursue this a little. But first, I want to touch on, I've had quite a few people either writing in, or if they come into the office, saying that they're definitely losing inches. Their clothes are getting looser. They can feel better. Their abdomens are flatter. Blouses they couldn't wear, they can button now, or that are fitting better. That people are getting into pants and dresses, and men are loosening the belt loops. They're on a different hole on the belt. I'm hearing a lot of wonderful transformation in the body and the clothing. And people are feeling frustration because the scale isn't moving, or isn't moving the way they expected. So again, there are several things going on. For most people, they're taking at least one day off a week. And again, the holiday plan says 1 day, 2 days, and there may be a circumstance where there's 3 days. Remember that on the days you're on the program, you're burning body fat. This is 1 pound of body fat, takes up a lot of space, but it's not very dense. And so you definitely notice a change in your body and how your clothes fit. But this doesn't have a huge impact to the scale. On the days that you're taking off, you're putting food in your intestine, right? Your food is going into your digestive system. So it's going down, it's sitting in your stomach, it's being broken down, it's going through the small intestine for absorption, and it's either going through urination or going through your large intestine for bowel movement. So during the time that it's in your digestive system, it weighs something, and the digestive fluid with it weighs something. That has an impact to the scale. But there is nothing that you're doing at a holiday party that is putting more of this back in your body. You are not storing more of this. So let's go with the average person who's got 2 days off each week and 5 days on the plan. For 5 days, even if they're not consecutive, you're burning this. On the 2 days that you're taking off, You're not burning this, but you're not storing this either. So they're essentially neutral days, and then you go back to fat burning. So on these neutral days, because you're putting stuff in your intestines, or food in your stomach, food in your intestines, and you're wearing that, and you're wearing the digestive fluid, you're going to get some erratic results on the scale, and sometimes it won't move at all, or it'll move down a pound or two, or might even jump up a pound or two before it comes back down. But you still notice